only a couple of years ago.
It's getting on now. You're travelling with enthusiasm,
Always.
some alacrity, and much aplomb down the timeline. You are doing it.
Yes, lots going on.
Moves. Yeah.
Lots going on.
So you, Mark and you, and Jennifer, you became East Coast Adventure.
That's right.
Once upon a time.
Once upon a time.
The little acorn was into the ground, and it has grown well.
It has.
Something like East Coast doesn't happen by accident.
No.
There's a lot of work has gone into it.
A lot of work over the years, a lot of stress, and a lot of blood and sweat and tears. But it's
Say nothing.
It's going well.
Sean Bennett is in the wings. Don't say a word. He's in the wings. Watch him very carefully. We'll be talking to him presently.
He came empty-handed.
He came empty-handed. Look at him. Isn't he terrible? Goodness gracious. So East Coast then, the concept was what when it began?
The concept was Mark started East Coast Adventure about 21 years ago now, and he came from the Shire Holiday Village where he trained.
Absolutely.
And decided that he thought he could make a go of hiring some canoes and kayaks and jet skis and stuff off the beach. And the council were good enough to give him the baths to work from. And from there, there's a big demand. And it grew. All of a sudden, there was a residential centre, was rented, leased, renovated, done up, and eventually knocked down and rebuilt. And we have what we have today up at McBarra. So in 20 years, it's sort of roller coastered and got bigger and bigger and bigger.
Do you sense that you've been a constant sort of midwife at the birth of this wonderment? Like this never existed in the way it exists today before East Coast.
That's right. At the time when East Coast was developed, there was really no other centres doing that sort of activity. There were some educational library board centres doing it, but it was still in its infancy. And I suppose the venture that we've brought in, things like banana boats and jet skis, were unique to the country when we first got them. So
you significantly, though, brought in with you safety.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that's your hallmark.
That's the thing. Safety is obviously very important. You're taking kids and you're taking young people from all around the country into sports that inherently there's going to be risk there if they aren't done properly.
Yeah.
So it's very much about safety, and as far as the kids see, it's very much about fun. But there's a very good team working behind the scenes there to make all the events happen and make sure they happen safely, and everyone goes home the same way they arrived.
Young people, it's not only young people you work with, but my observation of young people is that when they get out, are encouraged to come out from in front of the computer screen, they actually grab what's there for them, and they enjoy it, and they have an enthusiasm for it.
Absolutely. I mean, we've got kids coming from 4 years of age right up to adults coming in corporate team development programs, and when you take people into the outdoors, even if they're not really used to it and it's not their bag, it's not what they're interested in, they enjoy it.
Yeah.
They absolutely enjoy it.
Ian, what's the most exciting and remarkable thing you guys are doing at the moment?
At the minute, I suppose it's all about mountain biking. That's the hot topic on everybody's tongues at the moment. We do loads of things, loads of fantastic activities, but at the moment, mountain biking would be the one that's drawing most attention. We recently had a fantastic new trail centre built out in Rostrevor, 30 kilometres of mountain bike trails. We're lucky enough to be the official provider for mountain bike activities out there.
So does this mean, what happens if I don't have a mountain bike?
Well, we have mountain bikes that we rent out.
I can rent from you.
So we can size you up and fix you up with a bicycle, and then take you out and teach you how to use it safely and most efficiently. And then that gives you access to hundreds of acres of ground and with the most dramatic scenery of any mountain bike trails, and I think in Britain.
But I mean, I wouldn't see too much of that if my chin's down on the bars and I'm struggling for my next breath. You need to be massively fit for it.
No, not at all.
No,
not at all. There's trails to suit everyone up there.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. There's trails for everybody. And we get people who have mountain biked before, maybe a bit overweight, trying to lose weight, and they think, I can't do this. But of course they can. We've trails that we can make suit everybody and bikes to suit everybody's needs.
Really?
And there's no barrier at all. If you're open to it and you want to have a go.
Well, here's the thing. Mark McAvoy, my wonderful doctor, will be looking after my knee and my ankle joints because passage of time, one abuses one's skeleton over the years. And would mountain biking be for me? Yeah, I'm 70 now.
No reason why not. Absolutely no reason why not. One of the things we can do if you haven't mountain biked before is to put you in one of our minibuses that we use for our uplifts. Uplifts where we take people from the bottom with their bicycle on a trailer behind. We got specially built trailers.
You take me to the top.
We take you to the top.
And let me come down.
And then you can freewheel nice and gently and slowly all the way back down yourself.
Hey, Dee, this is the kind of exercise sounds good to me. I love it. I love it.
No, you have to work a wee bit too.
Yes.
But it's not just as bad as cycling all the way up and all the way back down again.
No, but you could begin to make an impression on the up.
On the up.
You grow your enthusiasm first.
Once you get that bug, once you enjoy it, from the coming all the way down with a few ascents, but nothing very particularly strenuous.
Yeah.
Then you can start to do higher climbs and go a bit further. And the next thing you'll be flying up the hills and racing down the different trails.
Isn't it quite amazing that Newry and Mourne Council had the foresight to go for this and make this happen?
Absolutely. I mean, without Newry and Mourne District Council, the trails wouldn't be there. We wouldn't have them.
Yeah.
Fantastic work has gone into it over this past 3 or 4 years. And, if you had asked me 2 years ago, will there be trails in Rostrevor? I would have said no. There couldn't be. There's too many barriers that have been put up over the years.
Yeah.
But the council weren't daunted. They kept at it. And now we've got literally, and I'm not being biased, one of the best facilities in the UK for mountain biking.
Yeah. And was used in those fire, police and whatever games.
The World Police and Fire Games used the trails, and also the Red Bull Fox Hunt, which was a fantastic event to get to Northern Ireland as well as the Fire Games. And they really showcased what we have in Rostrevor. And as a result of that, it's drawn attention of an international audience. So we've people coming from all over the world to use our trails, where we would have gone to Whistler in Canada and travelled around to try and get access to good trails. Now they're right in our doorstep.
Right, come back to ordinary folk. Not that those aren't ordinary folk, but what is there on a weekend by weekend basis for folk who want to get active? What's there for them at East Coast?
At East Coast, we do lots of different activities for families. You can come along and take a kayak out for a spin on a Tuesday or Thursday evening, or at the weekends. You could try some archery. If you don't want to get too active and out of breath, you could have a go at field archery. We have a number of different sites we use, and we can teach you everything from holding a bow to hopefully getting the bullseye. And there's lots of things like that.
And where are you based? Where does one find you?
We have a number of different locations. Obviously, as I said before, we started off at the Baths in Warren Point. Now we have the Trail Centre in Rostrevor, so we have a full mountain bike setup out there in the Kilburney Park. The mountain centres in Rostrevor as well. We have a 70-bed accommodation, and that's where we go use for our camps or school groups or corporate groups.
Yeah.
Up there's lots of activities as well, from zip lines and archery and crate climbing. And
a zip line is a thing that goes from the top of the mountain to the bottom, and you're hanging on and you're strapped into it. You can't come to any harm because you're fitted into it.
We have a brilliant zip line that goes from one tree to another tree. Wow. You climb a tree, then you zip across to another tree and zip down to the ground. And it's great fun. And every Sunday afternoon, it's open to the public and people can come along and try it. And you're strapped in, you're in a harness, you're in 2 different safety systems. So if one goes, there's a backup system, etc. So it's very safe. And, great activity. And again, you don't have to get out of breath to do it. Just be open to a bit of crack.
Open to the change and the challenge.
Absolutely.
The 2 C's, change and challenge.
Change and challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Wish you well. Have you a telephone number? Have you a website?
Yeah, our website is eastcoastadventure.com.
It's easy. eastcoastadventure.com.
And from there, there's information on all our programs, prices, activities, calendars when we're open, what we do, and there's something for everybody.
Sounds as good as it gets.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
Good to see you
God
again.
bless you. Walk well and be well.
Cheers.
Take your mic off there. There you got it.
Gaudete, Christus est natus, ex Maria Virgine.